Before I actually read the statement, I would like to say that my thoughts and prayers go out to the family of the deceased. It's a very tragic situation, and also my heart goes out to the officers and deputies that were involved in this tragic incident. It's a tough situation when an officer is put in a position where they have to take a human life, and they do take it hard. They're just like any other person. So I wanted to get that out first. So I'll go ahead and read the statement. On July 9th at approximately 6:51 p.m., Benton County Sheriff's Deputy Jason Erickson, who had just completed a shift on duty, was at his home. Deputy Erickson was standing outside with his children when one of his neighbors called to him that another neighbor by the name of Rick Robert Howard, who is 50 years of age and lives at 5714 Sacramento Drive, was highly intoxicated and having a mental breakdown. While talking with the complaining neighbor, Mr. Howard exited his residence carrying a handgun, a shotgun, and an SKS assault rifle. Deputy Erickson attempted to de-escalate the volatile situation and was able to return to his home with his children and call 911. Upon returning to his home, Deputy Erickson heard several shots, armed himself with his service pistol, and continued to provide intelligence to the responding units. Mr. Howard was observed pointing his gun at another neighbor, and Deputy Erickson tried to get Mr. Howard to put down his gun, but he would not. Fearing for the lives of his family and the neighbors, Deputy Erickson fired several rounds at Mr. Howard, but Mr. Howard was not struck. Mr. Howard retreated to his home, and shortly after this, numerous gunshots were heard coming from inside the residence. In addition, several additional firearms, including handguns and assault rifle, were observed lying nearby on the front porch of Mr. Howard's home. Within about 5 minutes of the original call to 911, multiple officers from the Pasco Police Department were on scene. Shortly after this, deputies from the Benton County Sheriff's Office and a trooper with the Washington State Patrol arrived to assist. The Tri-City Regional SWAT team was ultimately called out and took over tactical control of the situation. Upon arrival, officers immediately worked to secure the scene and to evacuate area homes. Over the next several hours, Mr. Howard fired at least 60 rounds inside of his residence. At one point, he ruptured one of the water lines in his residence, which flooded inside of the house. He also fired dozens of rounds outside of the residence toward neighboring homes, a nearby park, and at police officers. During this time, Mr. Howard also called 911 dispatch center several times, and on one occasion he told the dispatcher that officers should back off or he's going to start killing people. At approximately 11:01 p.m., Mr. Howard exited his residence with an assault rifle and brought it up in a threatening manner. Fearing for public safety and officer safety, Mr. Howard was shot one time in the chest by Deputy Scott Surplus in order to stop him. Medics who had been staged in the area were called in and determined that Mr. Howard was deceased. Immediately after this, detectives with the Tri-City Special Investigative Unit, SIU, as well as the Franklin County Prosecutor's Office were called in to investigate. By Department of Policy, Deputy Jason Erickson and Deputy Scott Surplus have been put on paid administrative leave until the investigation is completed. Deputy Erickson is presently assigned to the Patrol Division, has been with the Benton County Sheriff's Office since February of 2011. Prior to this, he worked as a deputy with the Adams County Sheriff's Office, where he was employed for 3 years. Deputy Scott Surplus is presently assigned to the Regional U.S. Marshals Task Force and is a member of the Tri-City Regional SWAT team. He's been with the Sheriff's Office since June of 2011.